Have you ever wondered if that spare change in your pocket could be worth a fortune? You might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins that could be hiding in your everyday cash. Stick around, because one of these coins could make you rich. Let's start with a legend: the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, copper was needed for the war effort, so pennies were made from zinc-coated steel instead. But a few copper pennies slipped through the cracks, and if you find one, it could be worth up to $100,000 or more. Check your change. Most pennies from 1943 will be silver-colored due to the steel, but if you spot a copper one, you're in for a treat. The easiest way to test if you have one? Try sticking it to a magnet. If it sticks, it's steel. If not, it might just be copper. And remember, condition matters. Even a small scratch can reduce its value, so handle with care. Next up, the 1955 doubled die penny. This coin is famous for a minting error where the date and inscriptions appear double. It's like the coin is saying, "Look at me!" These pennies are a collector's dream and can fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $15,000 depending on their condition. If you're lucky enough to spot one of these, it's time to celebrate. The doubling is usually most noticeable on the date and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." So grab a magnifying glass and start inspecting your pennies. Speaking of doubled dies, let's not forget the 1972 doubled die penny. This one is less well known than its 1955 counterpart, but it's still valuable. The doubling on this coin is most evident on the obverse, particularly the date and inscriptions. These coins can range from $100 to $1,000, depending on the condition. So if you've got a stash of 1972 pennies, it's time to start sifting through them. Now, let's talk about a more recent coin, the 1999 wide AM penny. This error occurred because the mint accidentally used a reverse die intended for proof coins, which had a wider spacing between the A and M in America. These pennies are highly sought after by collectors and can be worth anywhere from $100 to $500. To spot one, you'll need to look closely at the reverse side of your 1999 pennies. If you notice the wider gap, congratulations! You've found a rare treasure. Another penny to watch out for is the 1969 S doubled die penny. The doubling on this coin is most noticeable on the date and inscriptions on the obverse side. It's a rare find and can be worth a significant amount, up to $50,000 in some cases. This error occurred at the San Francisco Mint, so keep an eye out for that S mint mark. If you find one, it could be the jackpot you've been waiting for. Moving on to the 1992 close AM penny. This is the opposite of the wide AM variety we talked about earlier. In this case, the letters A and M in America are almost touching. These coins are rare and can be worth several $100s. These are tough to spot, so you'll need to closely examine your 1992 pennies. But if you find one, it's definitely worth the effort. Let's switch things up with a quarter. The 2004 D Wisconsin State Quarter, specifically the extra leaf variety. This coin features an additional leaf on the corn stalk, which can be seen just below the main ear of corn. There are two versions, the extra leaf high and the extra leaf low, and both are valuable. These quarters can be worth anywhere from $200 to $1,500 or more, depending on the version and condition. So, if you have some Wisconsin quarters lying around, give them a close look. Next, we have the 1982 No Mint Mark dime. Typically, dimes minted in Philadelphia have a P mint mark, but in 1982, a batch was accidentally produced without this mark. These dimes are rare and can be worth $50 to $300. Check your dimes from 1982 and see if you're missing that P. If you are, you might just have a valuable coin in your hands. Another doubled die to watch for is the 1995 doubled die penny. The doubling is visible on the obverse side, particularly in the inscriptions. While not as dramatic as the 1955 version, it's still a collector's favorite. These pennies can range in value from $20 to $50, but in higher grades, they can fetch much more. So don't overlook your 1995 pennies. Lastly, the 1983 doubled die reverse penny. Unlike the other doubled dies, this one features the error on the reverse side. The doubling is most noticeable on the word 1 cent and the United States of America inscriptions. These pennies can be worth $50 to $200, depending on the condition. So flip your 1983 pennies over and take a close look. So there you have it. 10 rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket right now. Whether it's a penny, a quarter, or a dime, you never know what treasures you might find in your everyday change. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more fascinating stories about rare coins and collectibles. Happy hunting!